Hello, 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 and assalamu alaikum. Welcome to The Conversation Piece with your host, Akila. Hi, I'm Akila, the creator and host of the Conversation Piece podcast. And yes, I have more to say. This season, me and my guests lay our souls bare, sharing our lived experiences to not only heal our wounds, but to hopefully help others as well. I found my voice, and I hope you like it. So, come along on this journey with me. I promise, I don't bite. Well, maybe just a little. Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. If CeeCee knew I was in my office right now trying to sing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the premiere episode of Season 3. We do not hold back. Enjoy. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Season 3 of The Conversation Piece. I'm your host, Akila. And today, I have the pleasure of introducing a very special person in my life, CeeCee.
Hello, everyone. What's up? It's your girl, CeeCee, and I am thrilled to be here with The Conversation Piece. And Akila, what's going on? Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. No problem. We're going to be discussing a variety of topics surrounding relationships. Sisterhood, friendships, how to make one last.
Yes.
And how to push, when you're dealing with relationships, how to push through and come out a better person, but still hold on to those special bonds in your life.
Yes.
And for those of you who hear a mower in the background, I apologize. Today of all days, they wanted to, they decided to mow their lawn.
Yes.
As I'm doing a podcast. Now, granted, they didn't know I was doing a podcast, but still.
They still want to mow.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's okay. It don't stop nothing.
Exactly. I can edit.
That part.
Okay. All right. So we were talking friendships. Like, I think we're each other's first friend.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Dope. That's dope. We're both, I'm not going to tell our age, but we're both over 40.
You just told our age.
It's not... Well, okay, look, I'm 43.
I'm going to own it. I'm 45.
Yeah, and
Whatever.
to say that a lot of people can't do that.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason, and it's a blessing. It really, truly is. Has it been easy?
No.
Mm-mm. It hadn't been easy, but it's been worth it. You know what I'm saying? And to realize truly, I mean, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was saying like relationships, because you can tell the value of it, if it's worth saving or not. And you and I have our ups and downs, whatever, but I think in the end we both realize it's worth salvaging.
Absolutely. It's real.
Yeah.
If it real, they say, in the streets, it's like a little saying, if it's real, it'll come back. I ain't
never heard that, but
really? Oh well,
I'm
from the
not,
streets.
my proximity to the streets is not.
And you know what? That's the beautiful difference between us. I realize that it really is, because I'm more street than you, and at first I feel like that was the difference. Let me bring it back. Akila and I we were raised like our childhood. We came up together, and then I moved away when I was like in like the 1989. It wasn't until we were adults when we came back together. But when we came back together, I had this foundation built and you have this foundation built, and they were completely different.
Yeah.
And I don't think I knew how to celebrate those differences. Honestly, picking the differences apart. Yeah, I don't think I really knew how to celebrate those differences. With me being more hood tendencies and you know what I'm saying? just keeping it G, you know, and anyway, but
there's something to be said that because I don't have hood tendencies, whatever that is.
Yeah.
But I think within the communities, we're judged because of that. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you're not black enough, or you're too black. It's like, well, what is that? Because
right.
I've heard it all my life. I'm too articulate, too smart. Girl. Yes.
Well, you know what? I don't know why I'm talking about really, because honestly, I adapted to the streets because I was bullied.
Oh.
I was bullied because I was smart.
Wow.
You know, I'm just keeping for real.
No.
I was actually, when we moved away, you already know, in our childhood, I don't know if we had a normal childhood because we were scholarly.
Yeah. Because of
children.
Our parents.
Yeah,
wow.
As children. And that I lost touch with that because when I moved, people used to pick on me. You know,
I
higher
feel blessed
grade.
because my mom kind of validated me early. She always stressed.
Yeah. See,
that's
the
education is important. You go to school for education. You don't go there for a popularity contest. You know, it's good to have friends, but that's not what your aim is. And so my mom, she made our clothes, but the way that I wore that stuff like it just came off the rack.
Yeah,
you know, and I got compliments from it. It's also how you carry yourself, but. Yeah, but the whole thing about valuing education, like that was a value in our community at one time. It seems like we've lost that.
Yeah. I think people I agree. I agree because I definitely lost it, but I lost it on purpose.
Survival.
Be, intelligent, have book smarts, or you need to learn how to survive and navigate these streets. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Like that was, and so for me, it was easier to just learn how to navigate the streets because it didn't come with all the extra.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I started to neglect that side of me. Not neglect it. I mean, if you're smart, you're smart. But I dulled it. I dumbed it down, so to speak. I did. I spent years dumbing it down and focus more so on survival than elevating to get out of it.
So looking back, you think you're bullied because they were jealous of you, or because
absolutely, or because they didn't know any better. I'm a little hesitant to use the jealousy and envy, although we know it's real. We know it's real, but I feel like that's for each individual to be accountable for. Yeah. It's not for me to put it on you because I'm none of those things. You know what I'm saying? So I can't really tell what's what with somebody else, but I feel like when people don't, when they don't know, when they only see what they see, then how can they move different? You know what I'm saying? They have to learn to move different. And if you're not in the environment and conducive to learning or teaching in that different manner, then it's just a cycle that keeps going and going. And somebody at some point it has to break. I feel like they just didn't know. They were surviving too. And maybe that's how they learned to survive, by picking on someone else. And I love these people, to me, it became okay to be picked on because that's just what it was.
No, you said it became okay to be picked on. Like, I've never heard it framed like that.
Mm-hmm. It became okay. Like at some point, I mean, because I love these people. Right. Like we became friends. Yeah, it was like the age of roasting.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, okay, you gotta have tough skin because you could just walk by and like the circle, people roasting and you walk by. It's like, ooh, I don't want to make no noise. Oh, man, they saw me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I had to develop some sort of thick skin to not allow what people said. If I continued to allow what people said to affect me, I don't know. I really don't know where I would be.
Maybe back in hindsight, I'm glad it happened to me when I was a little girl. But I was 6 or 7. I was young. I was molested by a guy who broke into our house, and that impacted me for like the longest time. I remember immediately afterwards, like the following day or so, I didn't want anybody touching me. Yeah. Not even my mom. I didn't want anybody in my space.
That violation feeling is real.
I mean, he violated me in our house too.
Yeah.
My mom, I didn't know that we couldn't sleep in the house that night. The next day, we had to go up to Tampa. And so I was wondering, because my sister was sleeping in the bed next to me, and I was like, I wonder if I don't think he messed with her. Because I'm pretty sure if he did, she probably would have woke up and that probably would have spiraled out of control, whatever. I know my brother remembers it because he mentioned it one day. I didn't think he would remember it. My mom definitely remembers it.
Of course.
I was in college, and I got a victim letter. When you're a victim of a crime, they send you a letter to let you know that if they're going to be let out or whatever, they notify you. And so, like, I had pushed all this down, right? And so I'm reading the letter, and I'm like, who is this? I saw Mom. I said, this is so-and-so. And she got quiet. I'm like, who is that? She's like, that's the man that came into our house. And boom, I was right back at that moment. I was like, okay. She's like, what does the letter say? I'm like, they're saying he has to be let out for a procedure. For HIPAA law, they couldn't say what it was. I'm like, call if you feel comfortable with them letting him out. And I'm like, well, what should I say? And she's like, tell them you don't feel comfortable with them letting him out. I'm like, okay. So I called, said what I had to say. And then I remember the time between the first letter and the second letter was short because I got a letter saying he passed away.
Really?
Yeah. So he must have had, I don't know what it was. It was something that excelled quickly, whatever. Yeah, he violated me, but he also kind of like violated her because her recall was like boom she was like Johnny on the spot. I was like, wow. And for the longest time, I would deny that I was a victim of sexual assault, And so I had to push through that. And then my mom, she saved all the clippings, the depositions. She saved everything, and she presented it to me in a folder. I have it in my bedroom, actually, and I was reading through it. And I want to do something with it. I don't know what yet. Our parallels in that, how we experience it differently, but I pushed it down. She collected stuff and then gave it to me. To purge it out. Yeah, I didn't see it as her purging out. I didn't realize how much that affected her too, because she had to push through that. She had to push through that too. Yeah. But she had to be a mother. She had to protect me.
She had to push through it for herself and for you.
Yeah,
because that's a double. Like, that's your mother.
I told y'all we about to go there.
Yeah.
This season, I'm not messing around with y'all.
I know that's right. Who came to play?
Nobody.
That's
I don't know how much time we got left on this planet, but
that's right. It's things that need to be said.
Exactly.
Like these healing words, these real. My word this season for me is realization. Mm-hmm. That is my word. I was just telling Patience last night. I have come to the realization that I am a realizer, and that's a blessing. I commend you for sharing, even getting to the point where you're sharing, you know what I mean, a portion of a big.
Because I don't feel like I should be in a space anymore where I'm holding on to stuff and like I'm using this platform to share my vulnerabilities because I realize I'm not in this by myself.
Nope.
There's probably somebody on the other side of the world or whoever's listening.
Girl, there's somebody on the other side of this table. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Our stories are so similar as women. Our story, men too, but I'm talking about, I'm a woman, so I'm speaking from the perspective in which I'm accustomed to. And our stories are way too similar. And it's way too quiet for us to have all this in common and carry all this like baggage. We sure quiet about it.
Yeah.
It's quiet as kept. And that's that is the more reason to speak up. Hello, is this thing on? You know what I'm saying? That's real, because somebody out there that's being, sexually abused or whatever the case may be in this toxic situation, they may hear this. They will hear this. That's how similar these stories are. There will be somebody, and it'll help them. It'll help them to reconcile their emotion, reconcile how they're to heal. My biggest thing, I was molested. I was raped. I was all of it to me. To me, I was, all of it as well, repeatedly, different people. My whole situation is so warped when it comes to sex. So I didn't know how to, and I kept it all to myself. So that support, I was just, when you was like, my mom kept this and that, I didn't have that support. And you know what? Because I was too scared to tell them. Mm-hmm. I was too scared to tell my mom. My daddy died not knowing. And my mama, she read, I put it, that was my way. I just really kind of came out publicly about that in my book. I gave her a copy of my book. Whether she read it, I don't know.
Very powerful book, by the way, y'all. It's called Press. No, I'm serious. It's called Press On. There were certain chapters in there. I was just like, wow. Especially, I think it's chapter 6 through 7. Mm-hmm. No, 6 through 8. I was like, girl, I had to fight back tears. I was like, wow. Because it was like, it was so, you paint very vivid pictures.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you. And that was being nice. Because the original, I'm saying this as a joke. It's not funny, but it is. But it's not, but it is, but it's not. Because the original writing was graphic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so Paige, my partner Paige, she looked over it. I'm sorry. She kind of helped me get it together to submit because, of course, I had it edited, right? Mm-hmm. So I had to get it, to the best I could get it before I submitted it to editing. She read it. She was like, oh, wait, honey, oh, wait. I don't think, she was just the whole time, she was just like, oh, we're going to have to smooth this out. I don't know if you want to give the reader this type of experience. I know what you're saying.
I can hear Paige now.
Yeah, she was like,
look, we're going to have to smooth this out.
Yeah.
I don't think the editor's going, no, babe,
yeah.
no.
She was like, you don't want to shock the reader. Like, it was a couple things. It was like, be careful. You don't want to shock the reader too much. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, oh, okay. Because, all right, we can smooth it out. But I'm just keeping it blood raw. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what it was. I ain't lie about nothing.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I ended up smoothing it out a lot. That's why. But anyway, thank you so much. Thank you for your time with reading it. For real. I appreciate that.
Yeah, where's my book? I got all kind of sticky notes in the book. There's probably more sticky notes in the book than actual pages. I'm kidding.
God helped me write that book because I felt like I was in a safe place to reflect. The journey that I went through, I had a period of stillness in my life, and it was necessary. It was hard, but it was necessary because it allowed me to really, truly just put some things in perspective and forgive. You said the magic word earlier when you said forgiving. Oh man, forgiving is for us. It ain't for them.
Yeah.
I had to really, truly realize, hold up, what y'all did that. That's y'all walk around here being dysfunctional. It happened to me. It's not who I am. Mm-hmm. It happened to me, but I didn't realize it wasn't who I am because honestly, that's the way I viewed sex because that's all I knew. So I thought that's who I was. So I allowed people, I catered to these men with my silence. Mm. I was loyal to the wrong people. You know what I'm saying? I would be loyal to them, let them do thee, thou, and thou, and be quiet about it. Don't say nothing. Just let you turn around the next day or the next week, and then you tell your friends. And then I'll talk about it now, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm grateful. Because I could have came out a whole nother kind of way.
Yeah, when, I won't say his name, even though I know his name, but the molester or whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I felt like I was like out of my body, mm-hmm. right? But I was distinctly listening to when he went out the front door. He had the balls to go out the front door. And I was like, in that moment, I was just thinking like I could have kept that just, and no one would have known. But I immediately got up. Something led me to get up and go into my mom and dad's room and say, Mom, Dad, there was a man in the house. What would I be like if I didn't tell my parents? Because I feel like a lot of us who are assaulted in that way, we think were being punished in that moment. Like, well, this is happening to me because I'm a bad person. But like you were saying, that there's something wrong with them, not you. I could have got back into my bed and just curled up in a ball and carried that with me, and my mom and not tell my mom and my dad.
What's wrong
and then my
with
mom and dad
you.
are like, "What the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Why are you acting this way?" But something was like, "No, go tell your parents."
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that's real. Yeah. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I did tell, because I never did tell nothing. Nothing. Mm-hmm. I didn't tell, and then I got to the point where ain't no need to tell. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. I really did, right or wrong. I did. I got to the point where I'm like, ain't no need to tell, especially after my daddy died. I was like, well, I ain't even tell my daddy, so why bring this up now?
Thank you for listening. I appreciate all the support. For those of you who follow me on Spotify and don't want to miss out on any new episodes, turn on the notification button. You can also find the Conversation Piece podcast on Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Pocket Cast, RadioPublic.com, Breaker.audio, and Anchor.fm/Akila Lynch, spelled AQUILA-LYNCH. Thank you for your support.
No, why the hell held on to it this long?
I know one time I keep forgetting what a special relationship you have with your father, because I remember one time you took me on a trip to South Carolina, to Greenville. Okay, first of all, the elevation.
Well, compared to here, it's flat in Florida.
Well, see, had I not known that, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I was in the bed flat because my legs were like, where are you going? I was not prepared.
Yeah.
There's a slight elevation.
Yeah.
Just a slight.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah.
But I remember Caesar's Head Mountain.
Yeah.
But I remember one time you cried in front of me because you were thinking about your father. Mm-hmm. And you were like, I miss my daddy. Yeah.
Yeah, me and my daddy, we were close. Not to say me and my mama weren't. I respect my mom. My mother's still living. I respect my mother. We're not as close as me and my daddy was. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, my dad was a G. But my mom is a tremendously strong woman. She really is. Honestly, ain't no telling. Just like I'm, held everything I've been through, like, from my parents. They have no clue, or maybe they do and they never said nothing to me. I don't know. Like I said, that silence. I
noticed that about, especially within a black community, the communication.
Yeah.
Especially between generations, like, it's just either it's there or it's just non-existent.
Yeah.
But we gotta learn to get over that.
Yeah, we don't. I don't think it was a lot of communication definitely the communication could have been a lot better, in my opinion, in our household. But honestly, that's what taught me to communicate. Cause I don't wanna. No, you know what I mean? Like, no, let's talk about it. Like, what's wrong? Let's be that village, for each other, cause we need it. Who walk around here just a one-man show? and successful at it, and healthy, and they feel good, and all of that kind of stuff, all the attributes that's needed to truly pursue and evolve in this life. Man, you have a support. There's a support system in place. You know what I'm saying? There's a faith system in place, a belief system in place. All of that, all of these systems, just like our body systems work together. Okay, well, that's like an extension of our human body systems, the support and belief and financial, you know what I mean? These are systems, and we can't, like, take a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and a little bit of that. No, we gotta develop these things, whether they're there or not. It's no excuse.
I think people who say that concept, like, it does take a village. Like, they say if you want to go somewhere quickly, go by yourself. You want to go far, go in a group.
Yeah,
we've lost, like, especially people who become successful. Like, it's like you didn't get to where you were by yourself. Someone helped you along the way.
Somebody helped.
I think that's where some of the stagnation comes from, because at the end of the day, you spend more time with yourself and be comfortable with yourself, but there's a resistance because some people don't want to own up to the past and want to own up to their part that they played in the arrested development of themselves. Like, for instance, one thing I had to push through was issues with my biological father. Like, because I didn't meet him until I was 27, and even that was and for some reason my energy kept wanting to, like, find out who he was, because my mom would say, and I'm sure she didn't intend this, but she would say, you didn't get that from my side of the family. I'm like thinking, well, if it's not your side of the family, it had to come from somewhere else.
Right.
Because the man I see right in front of me, that's my stepfather, So it didn't come from him, so it had to come from somewhere else. And so it's like my energy went to find out who this person was, because, if I want to, accept it or not, he's still a part of me. And so I didn't meet him until I was 27. And honest to goodness, I'm looking back as like, was that wasted energy? Because he kept putting up barriers to break through our relationship. And talking to my mom, he had to deal with a lot. He had to overcome a lot, but that stunted his growth. And I'm sitting here in front of him like, I'm your daughter. Like it or not, I didn't really ask to be here, but I'm here. I don't know if you want to have a relationship with me or not, but I wrote him a letter, a very personal letter, and I sent it to him, and I asked him, did he get it? And he was like, he kind of hesitated. I'm like, did you get it or not? And he wouldn't answer. There's certain questions he wouldn't answer. I'm thinking, it was frustrating, and I'm thinking about, like, but a part of me had to, like, forgive him because of what he went through in order for me to progress further. I mean, there are certain moments where I think about him, but I can't, if I want to grow, I can't stay stuck in that.
Right. And that honestly, that to me gives proof to your question. The answer to your question, was that wasted energy? No. Because without it was not wasted. Because you did what you had to do. Now, how the response came, that ain't had nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
It really didn't.
I realize that now.
Yeah.
Back then, you don't realize
right,
that.
Yeah. When you in it, it's hard to see. You did what you was led to do for your peace. Trying to reconcile. But everything we try don't work in the way that we want it to. But then again, it worked how it needs to. And so no, that was not wasted energy. Actually, it, like, as you was talking, I'm like, you was getting it out.
Yeah.
Like, that was your way. So all these bags that I know I done carried. You know what I'm saying? All these bags. Instead, you was sorting through. You were donating some of this stuff. You were putting it down. You was taking the trash out. You were cleaning up your personal space. And I applaud you for that.
Thank you.
For real. Because don't you feel better? Just imagine if you didn't do any of it.
Because I always had that nagging thought of, what if?
That's real. It's very real. And time is, it's unknown. As you know, your father passed away. Look, hindsight is just in time for you to be inquisitive and for you to expel that energy when he was alive. Overcoming adversity. I know we shared that's what we were talking about. But what are some steps? Like if we can, like your listener right now, like how can we help them overcome something? What's the first thing? We should do to overcome?
Honestly, for me, this is the way I see it. First of all, have an honest look at yourself in the mirror and acknowledge that you're not perfect. You're not perfect. You never will be. Forgive yourself for not being perfect. There has to be some kind of, not necessarily religion, but a spirituality aspect to it. You have to realize that there is something bigger than you. Connect yourself to that, because that essence of grandeur, whatever is bigger than you. That will put you, and be sincere. That will put listen. God will put people in your life, put you in circumstances to help you get where you need to go. Yeah. But you gotta be sincere about it.
Real talk.
Yeah. So I think those 3 steps. Look yourself in the mirror and acknowledge what your faults are. You're not perfect. Forgive yourself for not being perfect, because what you're about to connect to is perfect, and that perfection will guide you along the way.
That part, beautifully said.
Oh, Nila.
Though Akila I hope y'all for real listening, because that was some real talk just now. Akila just gave 3 actionable steps to truly step into the lane of getting to know yourself, and in doing so, you will overcome any adversity thrown your way.
And I'm still going through it, so don't think that I've gotten to my destination. I haven't. I'm still working my way through it.
Destination is death.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, to me, in my eyes, destination is death. Like, if I'm still living, I ain't got there. I haven't arrived. The work don't stop. You know what I'm saying? It's always.
Well, the way I see it, destination. Your final destination is back to the creator. Back to the origin.
That's what I'm talking about.
Because for some people, they think death. Oh, that's it. No, it continues.
You right.
Not in the same. Maybe not in the same body.
Yeah, you right.
Yeah,
you right.
Just in different format.
Absolutely.
Go back
that's
to the creator.
What I mean. Yeah, for real.
As they say, going back home. You going back home.
Yeah, and but we have a job to do, y'all. We have a job to do. And if you're listening to me and I'm listening to you, because I'm listening. Yeah. You listen to me, I'm listening to you. Know that we have work to do. And we can. We will. We are. I know that sounds good. We are.
We are the world.
We are the world. But for real, we can, man. We can. I wish somebody would. I have the spirit. I honestly, there is nothing I can't do. Scared, fear does not. That's an oppression tactic. Fear is an oppression tactic that's lingered for a very, very long time.
How do you think our relationship lasted so long? Because I think because I noticed that with other friendships that I have, there's a tinge of, I wouldn't say underlying competitiveness. And I think overall society kind of pits women against each other in that regard, to see each other as competition.
That's deep.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Again, but it was a concept of, we were discussing yesterday about how with marginalized groups, they throw you crumbs. And within those crumbs, they have each other pitting against each other. Mm-hmm. And women fall into that. But because I was never raised to see another woman, another person as competition. That's another person. You judge them accordingly. Mm-hmm. But I was just wondering why. Because I noticed that even with some conversations with my nieces, they're like, I don't like other females. I'm like, well, why? They're like, oh, they're catty and da-da-da-da. I'm like we're still perpetuating that notion of you can't trust other women. And at the end of the day, sometimes that's who you need are other women.
Absolutely. Honestly, I feel like we've had our friendship the way it for so long, X amount of years, because we both began a journey of learning who we are. I feel like, I know everything I say, come back to that. But that's real though, because I can, perception begins in the mind, right? And if we learn to truly perceive what's real, then we begin to learn how to cope with what's real. We begin to learn how to move through what's real. But if our perception is diluted with this created reality, or with this judgmental spirit, or with these bags of things that we're holding on to, it warps our perception. Okay, I say that to say that journey of learning who you are just individually helps building relationships, not just our relationship, but all relationships, because of how we perceive, like we're more in touch with we're in touch with reality. And not to say that, like you were saying about your nieces, okay, it's a lot that we as women, not just the young women, but the older women too, that we have to learn about ourselves, because for whatever reason, that cattiness is real. It's a lot of people out here miserable. Yeah. That's just a manifestation of something else. We bypass all of that as we get to know ourselves, and as we walk in our authenticity. We begin to bypass that, so we don't have a problem. Some problems that people run into in friendships when they're not on a journey and they're not willing to evolve with life. We're meant to evolve. And the more resistance we put up, the slower we evolve. That don't mean that's the slower the individual evolve, but the world continues to evolve, and that's something that we, as a people, as a human race, we gotta realize that.
We can talk about anything.
Sure can. I'm trying to tell you, topics, they're a dime a dozen. I would just really, really put emphasis on those actionable steps that you mentioned, because not just because they sound good, because it works. It works. We're both doing it. And it's not about what you have to show what you're doing. Right. It's not about what you have. It's not about the materials at all. The materials are just that, materials. Yeah. It's about the character and the morals and the virtue that's built within your foundation and how you feel.
I think people have to understand that material at some point is going to lose value and it's going to perish. Metals deteriorate over time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wood deteriorates over time. Everything you put value on, right?
Mm-hmm. Except by self. But that's another that's a whole nother tactic. You know what I'm saying? It's putting all the focus outward, but really the focus is inward, and if we focus on the inside, really nurturing ourselves and learning who we are and realizing our self-worth on the inside will literally manifest around us.
But you just said a key point: self-worth. That's what people have to get to. You have to understand that you're here for a reason. Mm-hmm. The mechanics of what you got here were so complex, and at any time, you or your mother who carried you could have been gone. So you're here for a reason. You came out to shoot for a reason. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I was telling my niece this the other day about materialism or whatever, and just because she said something about like money. I said, you're putting a monetary value on, I think she said like $1 million. She's like, well, if I just had like $1 million, I'm like, do you know what $1 million could do? I would pay off my debts. Mm-hmm. I would buy my brother and my sister a house, because that's how you build wealth. Mm-hmm. I would give some to charity, and the rest I'll probably save it away or whatever. Mm-hmm. But because she was putting value on money to happiness, I said, Khadijah, you see these people out here, they have X, Y, and Z. I said, are they happy though? She couldn't answer the question.
No, because they're not.
No.
9 times out of 10, they're not.
Those people on Instagram flexing, that's what it is. It's a flex.
Anybody
are they happy though?
No.
Because look at all the energy you have to do to pretend that you're happy. That is so much work.
Yes, who got time for that? Let me just be happy.
Your happiness is tied to your overall being, your overall spiritual being.
Yes.
Are you happy? That's the thing. Yeah. Are you happy with what you got? There's some people
happy?
Who don't have a pot to piss in, but they happy.
Yeah.
Especially people in like third world countries or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some of them are oppressed. Don't get me wrong, but there's some of them when you see them on like camera crews come and exploit them or whatever.
Yeah.
The kids look happy
because they don't know, and they've been taught to appreciate and.
Right.
We have this.
Not only that, I said, Khadijah, I held up my cell phone. Then I said, don't have distractions.
Yeah.
I think these are all distractions.
Mm-hmm. They are.
Yeah.
They are handy tools when you know how to use them.
Yeah.
Yep. Very handy tools. Social media is a handy tool. The telephone is a handy tool. The internet is a handy tool if you know how to use it. And not get caught up in the ways that it can be used, because it can be used all kind of ways now. I'm gonna tell you, it's my mission to, just like what we're doing, like I wanna be that constant. Not I wanna be. I am a beam of light, a beacon of light. And you know what? You're a beacon of light. And there's so many beacons. We're really all a beacon of light. It's just some of us a little dull.
No, it's just I'm over here getting emotional because I realized that I wouldn't have a podcast if it wasn't for you. You were so. Oh my God! If my niece could see me right now, it's call me a robot. I'm over here crying.
No, that's real. That's what's up. You got it. I mean, that's all. I wouldn't be a friend. How in the world could I truly be a friend to not recognize? Like, hold up. You know what I mean? Like, I see you. I see how you move. Your principles. You know what I mean? How you move. We need you. We need you on what you doing and more. What you do, we need you. We need you in film. Don't worry about it. We coming. We coming. But you understand what I'm saying? These are the voices we need. People, so they look out to Hollywood or Atlanta or wherever, all of these places that's doing it. That's what's up. Keep doing it. But neglect to look in the mirror or at the neighbor or what's local. We gotta start. Somebody gotta start right here.
No, I know. I feel blessed with. I realize that there's so many people that I've like either they just fell by the wayside or I just purposely kicked out of my life.
Yeah.
But I realize that where I am right now, Allah has certain people in place to help me, and it was you. It was Imam Haq Muhammad, Abdul Haq Muhammad, my mom, my brother, my sister. Like they all said, make a podcast, but you were the one that said, I forgot what it was. I think I wanted to be on yours. And you were like, girl, make your own podcast. Yes. I was
like, what? Oh. Yeah. Yes. And look at you. What season you in?
3.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? If you haven't heard, go back and stream season 1 and 2. I'm telling you, like, the content you give is needed. It's solid. It's relatable. We need it. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. So definitely, girl, we need you. We need you and everything like you.
She got a little water out my eyes. I wish Khadijah could see this right now. Call me a robot.
That is too cute.
Like, I never see you cry.
Because you don't be in the right place at the right time.
Right? I have feelings.
Okay. Yeah.
You have a book out, and it's called
Press on. Awareness to overcome all while healing debts of the heart, mind, and soul by CeeCee Robinson.
Y'all need to read that book for real. I'm telling
Thank you.
I'm telling y'all, if y'all saw my sticky notes in my book.
That's what's up. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, and you can be found where?
You can find me everywhere. My YouTube. Come to see me. Awakened. That is my channel, and that's also my social media. Awaken. AWAYKENNED. Yes, it is slightly misspelled, but not really.
Not misspelled.
Exactly. See, what is misspelled?
What is misspelled?
Yeah, what is misspelled?
That's another topic. That's a whole other topic.
That's a whole other topic. Exactly. I'm glad we're on the same level.
Yeah.
Awaken. You can find me on YouTube. Awaken. If you want to see my little concepts that I play with, I'm on TikTok and on Instagram. Awakened.
And you have a podcast?
I do. You can find that. It's the Vibe Clinic. You know what I'm saying? It's where we healing where we at. For real, it's about, getting our vibe, becoming one with self, and getting our vibe in order so that we can feel better, to then see better and experience better.
You heard it from the source, people.
Absolutely. Thank you so much to the Conversation Piece for having me. Thank you, Akila. I want to come back.
Yeah. Of course, anytime. All right, peace.
Peace.
Thank you for listening. I appreciate all the support. For those of you who follow me on Spotify and don't want to miss out on any new episodes, turn on the notification button. You can also find the Conversation Piece podcast on Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Pocket Cast, RadioPublic.com, Breaker.audio, and Anchor.fm/Akila Lynch, spelled AQUILA-LYNCH. Thank you for your support. Thank you again for tuning in to another episode of the Conversation Piece podcast. I am your humble host, Akila, requesting that you join me again. So, until then, be safe. Love and value yourself so that you can love and value others. I bid you adieu with the greeting, Assalamu alaikum. Peace be with you.